Imagine this: a child runs up to you, beaming with pride after drawing a wobbly but colorful picture. Instinctively, you say, "Good job." It feels natural, encouraging, even kind. But what if those two words, repeated endlessly, are doing more harm than good? What if Europeans, with their subtlety and depth, have been doing it better all along? Want a happier, healthier family life? Hit subscribe now for science-backed secrets to better love, parenting, and self-care, delivered straight to your heart. Also tell me in comments that from where you are watching my video. Now let's start. The truth is, good job is an American staple, a reflex so ingrained in parenting, education, and workplace culture that most of us don't even question it. Yet research in child psychology, linguistics, and motivation science suggests that this seemingly harmless phrase may actually diminish intrinsic motivation, foster dependency on external validation, and even stifle creativity. Europeans, on the other hand, tend to avoid such blanket praise. Instead, they opt for responses that are more specific, reflective, and rooted in genuine engagement. So why does this matter? Because the way we praise shapes how people, especially children, view effort, failure, and their own potential. Take Germany, for example. A study published in the Journal of Cross-Cultural Psychology found that German parents and teachers rarely use generic praise like "good job." Instead, they focus on effort and process. "You worked hard on that," or "tell me how you did it." This aligns with psychologist Carol Dweck's research on growth mindset, the idea that praising effort, not innate talent, encourages resilience and a love of learning. In France, praise is even more restrained. French parenting expert Pamela Druckermann notes in asterisk bringing up BB that French adults often respond to children's achievements with a simple interesting, or "you did it, that's normal." The underlying message? Achievement isn't extraordinary, it's expected. And that expectation builds self-reliance. Scandinavians take a different but equally powerful approach. In Denmark, one of the happiest countries in the world, parents and educators practice process praise, emphasizing collaboration and personal growth over individual brilliance. Instead of asterisk, "good job," you might hear, "How did you and your friends solve that problem together?" This fosters teamwork and emotional intelligence, key components of Denmark's renowned education system. Meanwhile, in Italy, praise is often effusive but highly specific. An Italian parent might say, asterisk, "I love the way you mix those colors, it reminds me of a sunset." Asterisk, this kind of feedback nurtures creativity and self-expression without reducing the child's work to a binary good or bad. But what about the workplace? The same principles apply. In Dutch corporate culture, for instance, directness is valued over empty compliments. A Dutch manager might say, "Your report was thorough, but let's discuss how we can make the conclusions sharper." This approach, while blunt by American standards, is seen as respectful. It assumes competence and invites growth. Similarly, in Sweden, feedback is often framed as a dialogue. Asterisk, "What do you think went well, and what could be improved?" Asterisk, this encourages self-assessment and critical thinking rather than reliance on a superior's approval. So why does "good job" fall short? Psychologist Alfie Kohn, author of Punished by Rewards, argues that generic praise can become a form of verbal candy, quick, addictive, and ultimately unfulfilling. When children hear "good job" repeatedly, they begin to seek out praise rather than internal satisfaction. A study from the University of Chicago found that kids who were frequently praised for being smart became more likely to avoid challenging tasks, fearing failure would disprove their label. On the other hand, children praised for effort were more willing to tackle difficult problems. Europeans also tend to avoid excessive praise because they value authenticity. In Spain, for example, parents might say, asterisk, "I can see you practiced a lot," acknowledging the work behind the achievement rather than just the outcome. This mirrors the findings of motivational researchers Edward Deci and Richard Ryan, who found that autonomous supportive feedback, recognizing someone's perspective and choices, fosters long-term motivation, while controlling feedback, "Good job, now do it again," can undermine it. Then there's the cultural dimension of humility. In many European societies, overt praise is seen as boastful or even embarrassing. A Finnish teacher might nod and say, "You improved," rather than showering a student with applause. This isn't coldness, it's a way of teaching that success is its own reward. Finnish education, consistently ranked among the best in the world, thrives on this principle. But let's be clear, this isn't about swapping one rigid script for another. The key is mindful praise, feedback that is specific, sincere, and focused on the process rather than the person. Instead of "good job," try. "You kept trying even when it was hard," that's persistence. "How did you come up with that idea?" "I noticed you helped your friend, that was kind." These responses build self-awareness, reinforce values, and encourage deeper engagement. They're the kind of phrases you'll hear across Europe, from a Berlin kindergarten to a Paris boardroom. So the next time you're tempted to say good job, pause. Ask yourself, am I praising the outcome or the effort? Am I encouraging dependency or independence? The words we use shape mindsets, relationships, and even societies. And if Europeans have mastered one thing, it's the art of meaningful feedback, simple, understated, and far more powerful than two hollow words. Perhaps it's time we all learn to praise a little less, and say a little more.